The EICMA is over, the new models have been revealed, and in this video we're taking a look at the most exciting scooter highlights for 2026. A warm welcome to 1000 PS TV and welcome back to our studio, where I stayed during the EICMA to write reports for you. But now I'm also here to present the most interesting scooters of the upcoming season. My colleagues were of course at the EICMA in Milan, standing right in front of all the new bikes. But with all the stress and hustle there was simply no time to film a scooter video. So I'm doing it for you now, right here in the studio. We'll go through the new models together, and I thought we'd just do it alphabetically, from A to Z. That way there are no favorites, just the most exciting new releases from all manufacturers. And we'll start right away with A. Which brand comes to mind? Of course Aprilia, and they have unveiled the brand new SR GT 400. This scooter expands Aprilia's lineup in the mid-size segment. It's a 2-license compatible and powered by the well-known Piaggio 400 HPE engine. It delivers 36 horsepower at 7,600 revolutions per minute and 37.7 Newton meters at 5,700 revolutions per minute. So a proper mid-size A2 scooter. But just like the rest of the SR GT family, the 400 also has that slight adventure flair. You can see it in the setup. A 41mm upside down fork, twin rear shocks, each with 120mm of travel, 16-inch front wheel, 14-inch rear wheel, and a ground clearance of 190mm. Combined with the semi-off-road tires, it's clear Aprilia isn't aiming for a classic city scooter here. Instead, like the whole SR GT family, they want to offer a scooter that can do a bit more, one that can even handle some gravel, and now fits perfectly in the A2 category. In terms of rider aids, it features 2-level switchable traction control and off-road ABS, meaning you can deactivate the ABS on the rear wheel for a little gravel drift if you feel like it. The seat height is 820mm and the equipment is quite nice overall, with a 5-inch TFT display, keyless go, and a USB-C port. We also have a wide handlebar and decent wind protection. So with the SR GT 400, Aprilia wants to deliver a true all-rounder, a scooter that can take you through your everyday life from A to Z. Let's move on to the next manufacturer, Honda. The biggest news there is the update of the SH models, namely the SH125i and SH150i. They now feature a refreshed design with a new LED light signature inspired by the larger SH350. Also new is a 4.2-inch color TFT display and a more comfortable, better padded seat to make everyday riding more pleasant. In addition, we've got new color options. I'm not even sure how many there are in total, but definitely quite a few. And this trend continues across the rest of Honda's scooter lineup. The ADV 350, the X-ADV and the Forza 750, all of them have received new color schemes. So the biggest update is really for the SH models, now with TFT and a new design. Speaking of design, that brings us to Italy and to Italjet. They presented 2 models at EICMA, starting with the Roadster 400. It has a single-cylinder engine with 394 cubic centimeters, producing 41 horsepower and 41.2 Newton meters of torque. It's definitely a scooter that stands out with its design because the basic specs themselves aren't overly spectacular. The weight is 151 kilograms, the fuel tank holds 12 liters, and interestingly, Italjet lists a surprisingly high fuel consumption of 5.1 liters per 100 kilometers. I actually checked twice when I read that, quite high. But of course, this is a character scooter, a machine built around Italjet's bold design language. It features Italjet's distinctive front suspension system where steering and damping are handled separately. The entire Roadster 400 is essentially a rolling design statement, but still it comes well equipped. Heated grips, ABS, traction control, a TFT display, and a proven technical foundation with service intervals of 15,000 kilometers. It's a scooter that definitely stands out from the crowd. And with a price of 7,500 euros, it's not exactly cheap for an A2 class scooter. But if you think about it as owning a piece of Italjet design, it almost feels justified. The second scooter is the Italjet Dragster 459 Smart Shift, a truly exciting concept. It starts with the engine, a parallel twin producing 48 horsepower, combined with the Smart Shift system. Smart Shift is easy to explain. It's an automated manual transmission similar to what's become increasingly popular in the motorcycle world over the past 2 years. Basically, it's a traditional 6-speed gearbox, but with an automatic function, meaning actuators handle the shifting for you. You can also manually shift using buttons on the handlebar if you prefer. Aside from the aggressive Italjet styling, the components are also high-end and sporty. A Marzocchi suspension setup that both looks sharp and should deliver solid performance, a 16-liter tank, TFT display, ABS, and traction control. So again, we have a very complete package, and with service intervals of 15,000 kilometers, the new Dragster 459 Smart Shift clearly positions itself as Italjet's new sporty model. Not quite the flagship, but within the mid-size class, definitely a very exciting option. Things are getting exciting at LiveWire as well, because LiveWire has unveiled a new concept, the S2 Maxi Scooter. Developed in cooperation with Kymco, as the name suggests. S2 means it's based on LiveWire's S2 platform, which already includes models like the Del Mar, the Mulholland, and a couple of others. But now, the concept comes in a scooter form, and the whole design looks very futuristic, I'd say. It appears quite large and very comfortable. Just looking at the seat setup, it's clearly heading in the direction of a true maxi scooter focused on comfort. Of course, the goal is to take on the A2 electric scooter segment, targeting models like BMW's CE04, which also looks futuristic but isn't necessarily the most comfortable ride. LiveWire wants to take a different approach here. The scooter is also meant to be very practical. According to LiveWire, there's space for a full-face helmet under the seat. We were also told at EICMA that the smartphone will be deeply integrated into the scooter system. It features a round TFT display, like the one we already know from other LiveWire models. But above that sits a smartphone mount that will connect closely with the bike's connectivity system. The goal is to create a new, modern riding experience that blends digital and physical interaction seamlessly. When exactly this scooter will come to market, or what the final version will look like, we don't yet know. What we saw at EICMA was still a concept, but we'll definitely keep an eye on it and update you as soon as we get more information. Things are much more concrete at NIU, one of the true pioneers in the electric scooter market. There, we saw the introduction of the new NQiX 1000, which is said to be one of NIU's fastest scooters. It reaches a top speed of 125 km per hour, offers a range of around 100 km, and is priced at roughly 6,500 euros. The setup includes a sporty suspension with external reservoirs, and judging by the press material, NIU even shows the scooter being ridden on racetracks. Now, whether that's just marketing or if NIU genuinely wants to push into the sporty segment remains to be seen. One particularly practical feature, though, is the integrated Google Maps navigation. I assume the smartphone will need to connect to the scooter through the NIU app to make that work, but if it functions smoothly, that's genuinely useful. After all, we're used to that convenience from cars, where Android Auto and Apple CarPlay have become standard. So if it works as intended, that's a real benefit for everyday use. Alongside it, NIU is also launching the NIU FQiX scooter. It will be available in versions equivalent to 50 cubic centimeters and 125 cubic centimeters, meaning for either moped or A1 license holders. This model is built on a completely new platform and follows a slightly different design approach. Most NIU scooters so far have a strong, recognizable identity with their round headlight and somewhat similar shapes. The new FQiX aims to break away from that and offer a more neutral, modern look, targeting riders who may not be fans of NIU's classic design language. Otherwise, as expected from NIU, the FQiX comes with a solid set of features: a TFT display, full connectivity, and a well-rounded package overall. It's designed to be a true alternative within NIU's lineup, a fresh new option for those who want the quality and tech of NIU, but in a different style. From an electric scooter pioneer, we are now moving to a newcomer, Suzuki, with the e-address. With the e-address, Suzuki is launching its first electric scooter for Europe. It's already available in India, but now it's finally coming to the European market. It's an A1 compatible scooter with a power output of 4 kilowatts and a top speed of 71 kilometers per hour. Clearly, this one is designed for urban mobility. You can tell from the specs, the range is around 80 kilometers. That's not an outstanding figure by today's standards, but honestly, it's enough. When you think about daily city commutes, maybe 10 or 15 kilometers a day at most, that range is perfectly fine. It comes with 3 riding modes, regenerative braking, and a TFT display. According to Suzuki, a full charge takes around 6.7 hours, but that's from 0 to 100%. In daily use, when charging up to 80%, which is common practice to protect battery health, it should be noticeably quicker. From what we've seen so far, the battery appears to be fixed, not removable, but that has one clear advantage. It allows for a large underseat storage compartment, 17 liters of space. So, with the E address, Suzuki is taking an important first step into Europe's electric scooter market. And that's significant because other established motorcycle manufacturers, especially Honda, already have electric scooters on sale. So this is an important move for Suzuki to catch up. Another big step forward comes from Italy, Vespa. They're celebrating something special, 80 years of Vespa. And they're doing it with the 80th anniversary edition of the GTS. And the Primavera, both models, come in a beautiful pastel shade called Verde Pastello Green, a tribute to the original color from 1946 when Vespa scooters first appeared right after World War II. It's a fascinating piece of history. I can really recommend taking a look at the full Vespa story. It's quite remarkable. But back to the bikes. These anniversary editions don't just feature the unique color, they also come with special wheels, which look fantastic in my opinion, and an 80th anniversary badge on the leg shield. It's a classic Vespa special edition, sure to find its fans. Personally, I think it's a beautiful homage, but Vespa didn't stop there. The regular models have also received updates. Both the Primavera and Sprint now come with rear disc brakes and a new LC display. On top of that, there are refined design details and a keyless system for all models above 50 cubic centimeters. Both scooters, the Primavera and the Sprint, continue to be available as electric and petrol-powered versions. So, in short, Vespa has given these two models a gentle update to bring them right up to date with modern technology. We still have two more brands to cover. First up is Yamaha, and there's something to celebrate here. 25 years of the T-Max. To mark the 25th anniversary, Yamaha is releasing the T-Max in a Black Max edition, inspired by the model from 2006. Special details include new fairing elements, logos, and black wheels with polished edges, which I personally really like. This edition celebrates the T-Max's success. With 340,000 units sold in Europe, it's one of the most successful maxi scooters ever. This special paint scheme honors that achievement. Yamaha's second new release is more technical, the SH125i TechMax. The exciting part is that this scooter comes with the YECVT transmission. That stands for Yamaha Electronic CVT. It's an electronic CVT gearbox with two riding modes, Sport and Town. In Town mode, the CVT keeps engine revs low to maximize efficiency. In Sport mode, revs stay higher for faster acceleration. There's also a downshift function while riding, meaning you can manually change ratios to speed up when needed. Sounds exciting. We hope to test how it actually works soon. Otherwise, it's a standard NMAX 155 in terms of performance and features. So there aren't many surprises here, but the new transmission is definitely the highlight. I really want to try it out and give you a detailed test once we get our hands on one. The final new release comes from Zero. They're now entering the electric scooter segment. Until now, Zero has only offered motorcycles with electric powertrains, but with the LS1, they are launching an A1 compatible scooter. This scooter has two batteries under the floorboard, which keeps the center of gravity very low, a smart solution I've seen on other scooters too. It also frees up a lot of under-seat storage space. Zero says that a third battery can also be installed, which I assume can be swapped during riding technical details. With the optional fast charger, the scooter charges from 0 to 90% in 2.6 hours. With the third battery installed, a range of 173 kilometers is possible. Otherwise, it's a fairly standard electric scooter in terms of design. Nothing flashy. But being a Zero, you can expect good electronics, strong usability, and solid build quality. How it performs in practice remains to be seen, but I've already spoken with a Zero representative at EICMA, and they are happy to let us test the scooter, so we can look forward to a full review. That wraps up the most important scooter highlights for 2026 from A to Z. What was your highlight? What are you still missing for 2026? Which new features would you like to see? Write your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and see you soon.